Learn how to update an existing object property using object.define property method. It is possible to change the value of an existing property using object.define property method. Together, let's take a look at an example of how this can be done in JavaScript. So I have steps here that I have listed as a comment in my script tag. Create object person, add property language, use object.define property method, change language value, display updated value. So the first thing to do is to create a person object. I'll go ahead and make that. And inside it, I'm going to add first name, last name, and now that I have last name, I want to add one more, add property language. So I'm going to add language this. I call it EA, which is a shorthand representation for English. Now, now that we have done this, it's time to change a property. So how do you change the property? You call the method object.define property. Now, inside this, you pass your objects. What do you want to change or update? The language. And do you want to change the value? If you want to, definitely we should include that. And now we want to change it from EN to NO. Probably this is a language spoken in Norway or something. Now, once we have changed this property, now it's time to display the property. Document.get element by ID demo.inner HTML equals to person.language. And take a look. You can see that from EN, we are now displaying NO. So with object-define property, we were able to change the value of an existing property. It's object language property from EN to NO. So we basically created an object and we use the object-define property method on it. We replace the value, which is where we are setting it here. We replace it with no, and already we have the element or the property we want to change as well inside. So this is what we want to change its value. So the name and its value, and then we passed it into our code. So the updated value is stored and then the result is displayed. So this shows us that existing properties can be modified and that the object.define property method can override values while the object remains the same references. Now, things to note with this method is that in JavaScript, the property values are not fixed in an object, and that is why we're able to remove or to change it or do other things like removing or adding to it. So you can always update object properties because the define property method allows control updates to the properties of your object. Objects in JavaScript are mutable. Their properties can be changed anytime. That is, objects in JavaScript, they are not rigid, they are not immutable, they are mutable. That is, their value, their properties can be allowed to be modified or worked with, changed or update. So the object.define method is what allows precise control over updating objects property without rebuilding the object.